Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at warm-up recipe number 2 for classical and fingerstyle guitar. These exercises are a variation of the exercises from recipe number 1. You should definitely fill these into your practice journal, and if you don't have a practice journal, you can download the free template PDF up here in the corner. These warm-up recipes are intended for you to be able to interchange them throughout the week. So day 1 you might do warm-up recipe number 2. Day 2, you might do warm-up recipe number 1. And as I come out with more of these, there's going to be a lot of warm-up recipes to pick from. So with that being said, like many recipe books, there are certain things that overlap and certain things that don't. So some recipes require coriander. Almost all recipes require salt. So you're going to notice a couple of similarities between this and the last exercise recipe. But that's on purpose because you need a little bit of overlap and then a little bit of leaving what you did the day before. So without further ado, let's take a look at exercise 1 for our classical guitar warm-up recipe and number 2. And definitely do not forget to claim that practice journal. Alright guys, here we go. Alright guys, let's warm up using our ring and annular finger. Our index and annular finger. So we have our index and our annular finger, otherwise known as the ring finger, but you'll see it on the screen labeled as A. We're going to be hitting each string 4 times. Now remember, you want to kind of float your thumb a couple strings above, and this thumb is movable as you move up through the strings. And you're also going to be having that knuckle roughly over the string that you're plucking, and you're going to be plucking using that big knuckle, not using these knuckles, right? So we're not plucking like this, we're plucking like this. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lifting your thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now, of course, the exercise here is labeled with a repeat, so you're going to want to do this 2 times and do it nice and slow with a metronome. Next, let's take a look at exercise 2. Exercise 2 is exactly the same as exercise 2 from recipe 1. This is our salt. Right? Salt is in about every single recipe. We're going to be hitting each string 4 times with the thumb. Now remember, to move your thumb to the next string, you're going to be using your arm so that your hand moves as a unit. We're using this motion here to cross strings. This is an important one to practice every single day for the sake of your tone as well as your coordination. You're going to be using your thumb a lot as a fingerstyle guitarist. So you've got to train it and treat it like it's a basic building block of what you're doing. All right, so let's do that one more time. Alright, let's check out exercise 3. Okay, so exercise 3, we're going to be doing a 1 octave C major scale in the first position. First, I'm going to show you the left hand fingers and then the right hand fingers. The right hand fingers are actually probably a little trickier, and I've made them so that each time you play this, you're building extra coordination by controlling each and every finger. So, without further ado, we're going to be getting C, the 3rd fret of our A string, then our open D, right? Then our 2nd fret of the D using the middle finger. Next, we're going to be getting that 3rd fret with our pinky, and see how I'm nice and close to these frets, right? So that's our F. After that, we get our open G for G, 2nd fret of the G for A, open B, and then our 1st fret of the B for C. And then we're going to do the same thing backwards. Okay, so let's take a look at the right hand fingers for this. All right, so we're going to practice these right hand fingerings. We have index to start, then to cross to the open D, we're going to use the middle. Index again for that second fret, and then middle for the third. And then we're going to use our annular finger to cross over to the G. Index again for the second fret, middle for the open B, and then we're going to get annular for the first fret of the B. Then we're going to do middle for that note again, annular for the open B, middle to cross over, annular for the open G, middle to cross over back to the D string, index, middle, and then index finally to cross back over. So overall, it's index, middle, index, middle, annular, index, middle, annular, and then middle, annular, middle, annular, middle, index, middle, index, and then to finish. All right, let's take a look at exercise 4. This is the third exercise from Giuliani's Opus 1, 120 right hand studies for daily practice. So with this, we're going to learn how to accent with our thumb, as well as have a cool finger picking pattern, as well as learn how to move your fingers on the left hand so that things sound smooth and notes don't cut off early and stuff. So with this first part, I'm going to show you which chords to use, and then when to switch your fingers, and I'm going to switch the camera angle so you can take a look at my right hand. So we're going to be doing C major, of course, third fret of the A, second of the D, open G, first fret of the B, open high E. And we're going to do G7 in first inversion. Now if you don't know what first inversion is, check out Music Theory in One Lesson on my channel. By far my most popular video. That'll clear that up. So what we're going to be doing, especially with this left hand, is learning to change the notes when we need them. So if I'm going through my picking pattern, which I'm going to show you when I change the camera angle, I'm actually going to be switching my fingers as I need them. So when I switch to this one, that's all well and good, and I'm not going to switch to that one until after I've played this one. And then I'll place my pinky as I need it. So if I go really slow, if I play it a little quicker, you'll hear that the chord switch is actually really smooth because of training my fingers to move when needed. So we have all right, let's take a look at the right hand for this one. All right, guys, let's take a look at the right hand fingerings for exercise number 4. Of course, I've shown you the left hand fingerings. The right hand fingerings are really the meat and potatoes here, and I'd like you to pay close attention to the fact that the thumb is a little bit louder than the other fingers. So we're going to be doing thumb, middle, index, 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 thumb. That's our overall pattern. And then what we're going to be doing is adding in those two chords. So we get thumb, middle, index, 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 thumb. And overall, what you should be hearing over everything else is last but certainly not least is our slur exercise. A lot of people will refer to this as legato. Classical musicians generally refer to this as a slur exercise. So the right hand fingerings are very simple. We're just going to be alternating pretty much between M and I, and we're going to throw one annular finger in there when we're going from the F pull off to the E. So I'm not going to switch my camera angle for that. I'm going to focus mostly on the left hand here. Look at the fingerings on the PDF. Of course, if you're a member of musicandguitarlessons.com, you can download this PDF in the members area. So we're going to start with doing a slur onto the first fret of the B string. Remember, slur is a hammer-on, otherwise known as legato to shred musicians. This is something that you've got to apply a lot of force to. And then after that, we're going to be slurring from the first fret of the B to the third, right? So we get, and you hear that the slurs are very loud. And then we're going to be going to the first fret of the high E from the open high E, and of course to the third fret. And then we're going to do the pull off, and remember, you're actually plucking the string. And then we're going to do pull off from third to first and first open, right? So what we get with this exercise is notice that the slurs sound very loud and clear, and you're not sounding like you're doing little teeny tiny hammer-ons and pull-offs, at least after a while of practice. So don't forget to write these in your practice journal, which you can claim up there. Interchange this with the first warm-up recipe and use this as a way to get a lot better before you start practicing your pieces every day. I've broken this up to five warm-up exercises a day. I think that's just about the sweet spot for everybody. And these exercises all improve a specific part of your technique. And you need to do warm-ups every single day. Warm-ups build your technique. Technique builds your ability to express yourself musically. Now there's more involved than just technique, but technique really needs to be taken care of. By all means, check out musicandguitarlessons.com if you want to help support me. It's $10 a month. You can download the PDFs. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe. Check out the next video. Have fun, guys. Definitely do not forget to subscribe and like this video.